And we're back. So, what have we done since the table's been put together? I adjusted the lead screws, put the water system, plumbed it all and got it together, and downloaded the driver for Fusion so we could program it and get it going. Dean found this convenient tank, 16 gallons, from a guy we saw on Instagram. He had this awesome idea to plumb in, compressed air up top, and actually push the water closed loop up, and then shut off a valve, run your system, and then simply turn the valve off and drain back into the tank. Very handy, very good idea.
Yeah, you really should do the like and subscribe if you're interested.
I gave you a like, subscribe clip right there. Just put it at the beginning. Like this video! Subscribe to this video!
So like Robert said, we got our 16-gallon tank in there, and if you connect an air hose, it pressurizes the tank and pumps the water into the water table. And so what I'm laughing about is Robert over-pressurized the tank for the first go-around. Enjoy these clips.
Alright, we're good.
With both valves open, the water falls back into the holding tank, and we took this time to look for leaks. We definitely found a few, so we took care of those before we decided to fill this back up and do our first test cut. And with the water table working, it was time to move on to our first test cut. So we booted up fire control and got to cutting.
This is freaking out too, dude.
Yeah, a mouse pad. I couldn't. It was like I was holding with 3 hands.
This was going the whole time.
So I wondered this last time. Can that driver be next to that controller? I tried to find some research on it and I couldn't.
Maybe not.
But I've seen some people be able to do it.
So we went ahead and took the time and moved the driver for the plasma torch over to the other side of the table and went back to do some more test cuts. So at this point, the new fire control software had frozen on us once, and then really started to freak out anytime we tried to cut while using the computer on the laptop stand. So we moved off the stand. So pretty much we spent a bunch of time troubleshooting because every time we put the laptop on the laptop stand, everything started to really freak out.
Be on there. I haven't looked on the forums.
The what?
I haven't looked on the forums to see if anybody else has said something about their controller being on the bottom of the machine. It is grounded on the machine. Well, no, because it was grounded before, just the same.
I was gonna say, but the grounding's not on the machine itself. It should be fine.
That wouldn't make any sense. That one's got the ferrule.
Well, it's got, not only it's got the ferrules on each end, it's got the mega ferrule on it right there.
I can't.
Let's take off this first. If you keep getting issues, then we'll switch USBs and see if that fixes it.
Maybe my computer too.
I don't think that's it. It's either the software or the EMF from being that close to the machine.
And with the main unit moved for the plasma cutter and the laptop no longer sitting on the laptop stand, we seemed to have no other issues. And so we were able to test out some of the new functionalities of fire control, as well as get some cutting done.
The heat is so directed, and you get such a clean cut, and you can cut thin stuff. Regarding the water table, there are a few improvements I'd like to see on it. So we're going to make our own. Ours will feature a central drain point in the center. That is a low spot, so all of the water will come down and work very well with the water system that we've set up here. We actually mimicked this design from a guy we found online.
And we'll post his information down below.
Yep. It features a 16-gallon tank, and this is a closed loop system. So what we can do is we can easily put in compressed air right here, blow the water up, if you will, and fill the table. And then once we get it filled and used and ready to drain it back down, we'll just open a valve and it goes back in. And it works very well. Some of the other notes, general fabrication of the machine is nice. I'd like to see maybe a little bit better for the casters, but I understand the table's probably not supposed to be moved, so we're going to take it upon ourselves to modify them, if you will, because we're in a small shop. But we did run into a few software issues. Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, so one thing I noticed is when I was actually shooting video with the GoPro, the little gimbal we use started to freak out.
Yep.
It's probably because of EMI interference, or EMI, for coming from the plasma cutter itself. It's a really, high power, high current item. Puts off a lot of electromagnetic interference, causes electronics to freak out a little bit. Because of that, we're not 100% sure yet, but we think it also is causing some issues on the laptop we're using here with the laptop stand. So we tried to do a couple different things. One thing is our driver was right next to the control box. We moved that as far away as we could from the control box. We made sure all the machine torches wiring is not ran with any of the signal wiring. Just tried to separate that as much as possible. It was better, I think.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
agree.
100% sure that was the issue, but it was better. But at the end of the day, we still had a couple issues, so then we actually moved the laptop off the stand. And we really didn't have an issue after we moved it off the stand.
Yeah. And disclaimer, we made our own shelf down here, so it didn't come with one. They may have already known about these issues. Could be completely on us. So,
Yeah.
more to
our-
test with that, I guess.
Yeah, because on our previous machine, the torch controller was on a separate card off to the side. But then we did run into a couple issues with the software crashing, some issues of lagginess on the software. There's a lot of really good new features on the software, and so
Yeah.
we're really hoping that the software gets mature and that it gets improved upon, because we want to use all the new features. They're really helpful and really exciting. But it's definitely not as stable as Mach 3 was with the old unit.
Yep. Manual nest, that's one good feature that we found so far that is very nice. So,
Yeah, to be able to quickly go part after part after part is extremely useful. In fact, you saw us use it on the video there.
yeah.
That being said, everything's together. We love the unit. We got a couple small improvements we want to make on it. A couple small improvements we'd like Langmuir to maybe make on it in the future for future customers. Again, this lower shelf we added, just somewhere to put a bunch of stuff. It's a lot of wasted space otherwise. I guess you could put things on the ground and roll it over it, but I really think a shelving option would be useful. And then the water table, like Robert said, we're just not super happy with it. We think there could be better designs on it.
Yep. So on the next episode, we will get our torch height controller hooked up, and new water table should be done by then, and we'll be rolling with the machine.
But hey, thanks for sticking around and watching with us, and
Smash that like button and subscribe button.
so thanks a lot, y'all.